Is Drake secretly Muslim?
Nope, you can scroll away now, although I am curious on your reasoning.
Did you know Drake just made a song saying free Palestine?
You went halal and got on your deen, and your people are still waiting for a free Palestine.
Those lyrics were from a diss track. No, I'm serious, it's literally a diss track. The lyrics come from the song Make Them Pay, which is part of Drake's new Iceman album, and in this track in particular, it's basically a diss towards DJ Khaled. Now, Khaled is a Palestinian American, and the main reason why Drake is calling him out is because DJ Khaled has been rather silent on like the whole thing in Gaza. The exact lyrics Drake used were, Khaled, you know what I mean. The beef was fully live. You went halal and got on your deen, and your people are still waiting for a free Palestine. Now, as a musician myself, context is very important when it comes to, songwriting in particular. I mean, let's take the diss track Kill Shot by Eminem. Now, you may realize, oh, okay, it's just a bit of a beat and just random words, but once you understand the context of why the song exists in the first place, everything changes. Kill Shot was basically Eminem's response to Machine Gun Kelly's Rap Devil, which it tries to diss Eminem numerous times, but what really triggered Eminem to make Kill Shot in the first place was that Machine Gun Kelly mentioned Eminem's daughter, Haley. And you know what happened to Machine Gun Kelly. He had to switch genres entirely. So yeah, when analyzing music, it's important to look at context. But anyway, let's continue what Lily has to say.
So his latest album just dropped yesterday.
Actually, 9 days ago, which at the time of recording would be May 15th. It's currently the 24th. But hey, who's fucking counting?
And references Islamic phrases over 20 times. Words like mashallah, habibi, Ramadan, and so many more.
Alright, let's hear them.
Lucky it's Ramadan.
So that's from Whisper My Name, and once again, context is important. My witches are fasting and praying you're lucky it's Ramadan, otherwise they will be posted outside like the Pentagon. Basically, it's Drake telling his enemies that they're only safe because of a calendar date. That's literally it.
Arabic ting told me that I look like Yusuf, look like Hamza.
So this one is from the Only You freestyle that came out during 2020. But again, context is important. He's just repeating a compliment a girl gave him about his looks. And the thing is, if Drake were actually secretly Muslim, well, he would know how to pronounce the words properly. In fact, later on during the song, he said, and I quote, in Arabic, I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Habibti, please, ana akid inti wa ana Allah. But the thing is, his accent is just so rough that he accidentally mispronounced the H to sound as a k sound. Arab Talk spent 2 weeks clowning him for that, and they even changed the lyric from you and I look better together to you and I are the shittiest. Now we're moving on to one of Drake's other albums he released this year. So Drake in High Five from his Habibti album, the exact lyrics he used, Pishios is riding round and lamb, mashallah. As in, praise God, that Lamborghini is nice. Yeah, he's talking about a luxury car. In fact, he later goes on to say in that same song, high fives from the bros for me cause I fucked her for nothing. But hey, let's continue.
Also, when asked about his religion, he said to the Rolling Stones magazine, I believe in God, I pray, and I do charity. What does that sound like to you?
So I like the fact they showed the full quote on screen because, oh boy, part of what he said was, my religion is just being a good person having a direct relationship with God. That's like pretty much every single Abrahamic religion in existence, which for those who don't know what the Abrahamic religions are, they're Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. In fact, Drake has gone on to state numerous times that he's a proud young Jewish boy and has referenced his bar mitzvah on tracks like Over My Dead Body in 2011.
Plus, Drake has also been seen multiple times wearing Islamic clothing and even photographed going to mosques regularly.
Photo number 1, that's just him wearing a black hoodie. Photo number 2, AI generated. Photo number 3, he was in Dubai at the time, and in Dubai, and along with the Middle Eastern, it is very common for tourists to wear, traditional clothing. Photo number 4, those aren't prayer caps Drake and his dad and his grandma are wearing. They're just regularly knit caps. His dad is actually famous for his dapper old school style. Photo number 5 is photoshopped. It came from a very viral meme in 2017. Not to mention, the closest Drake ever got to a mosque was back in 2008 when students from Drake University helped clean up a historic mosque after a flood. That's it.
Plus, his close friend and producer Noah Shabib is a Muslim.
And that proves absolutely nothing. In fact, Noah Shabib is not even Muslim. He's Lebanese Canadian and has had a Christian background. But let's just say, Shabib was in fact Muslim. What's the logic used behind it? I mean, if my best friend was vegan, for an example, okay? Does that mean I'm secretly hiding a stash of lettuce under my bed? No. Having a friend that has a different belief than you doesn't mean that you're secretly that belief. That just proves that, you accept diversity from, other communities and cultures.
And on top of all that, he was one of the first superstars to stand up for human rights and publicly speak out, and the first to sign the peace treaty.
First off, an open letter to President Joe Biden is not a peace treaty. It's a petition, and even then, Drake was nowhere near the first. In fact, during the Artists for Ceasefire letter, Drake wasn't even part of the initial wave. In fact, he signed at the exact same time as Jennifer Lopez did, and she's Catholic. Also, being humanitarian doesn't make someone Muslim, it just means they're a person who doesn't want to see civilians die.
And after the New Zealand mosque tragedy, Drake completely stopped his show to pray and pay tribute.
Yes, he stopped a show in Paris in 2019. Yes, it was a beautiful moment. But no, that does not prove he's Muslim. In fact, let's take a look and see what he said. I saw some really terrible things happen in New Zealand. I just want to talk about it because a lot of my friends and a lot of people I work with are from a Muslim background. He then talked about, looking out the arena and seeing people of, all the ethnicities, all the places they're from, all the religions. They're all showing love. I mean, if I was, running a show and I saw that a tragedy happened, I would have stopped the show and be like, hey, listen, we're all gonna need our time. If anybody from, any religious background could come up and maybe pray, I'm atheist, but I would still want someone to come up and pray because that's what comforts people. People are comforted by prayer. In fact, my immediate reaction when I have a feeling like that would immediately be the song Take Me Home from Gone. Dear God, it's me again, as I come to you for the last time. I know we don't talk much, so I don't expect you to grant my wrong request, though I confess it's hard for me to not ask why. Why are we losing so many kids? If you exist, show me a sign. I want to believe you without a doubt, but I feel like they've been forgot about. Where were you when they were screaming out, and where were you when they were bleeding out? Will you take them there far away from this place they're scared, hiding in this classroom so long that it feels like the walls don't hold no air, cause time's up. Kids start running, they dive, duck, and go find cover, while the suits and ties up in Washington get their blood money and then hide from us. Fake tears man I call bluffing. We got kids dying but don't do nothing, cause to them the dead are just another number. Man, I hate to say another shooting's coming, but it is. I love those lyrics so much because it's true. That is the exact same moment, the exact same feeling I would have if I was, put in that situation where I had to stop a show because a violent thing happened. You don't need to secretly convert to religion or even be a part of religion or even have a religion to have basic human empathy. All you need is a soul. That's it.
Honestly, it feels like the whole world is Muslim at this point.
There's more evidence of Drake being a pedophile than he is being Muslim. Yeah, you thought that I was pro-Drake, didn't you? Fuck him.